Cheers. I'd be willing to bet that there's only two kinds of people watching this right now. The ones who treat anxiety, overthinking, and burnout as their personality, and then the ones who quietly decide, no, that's not who I am. That's just what my nervous system has been trained to do. If you're the second one, the one who believes you're more than your stress, stay here, because I'm going to walk you through 3 ways to ground yourself back to the collective, back to the earth, and then inevitably back to your own frequency. Under all the noise, you're basically a walking broadcast tower. You're a signal, like mind, body, and soul, consistently sending and receiving energy, stories, and emotion, dude. But most days, me included, that signal tends to get scrambled. One part of you is replaying yesterday. One part of you is repeatedly rehearsing what's going to happen tomorrow. Your body is in the chair, but your head is 10 tabs deep in a reality that isn't even happening yet, or has already happened. So like I said, to start this, before we go anywhere wild, I want to do what I always do and give you something that you can take with you even if you never come back. Today, it's 3 simple grounding moves. One that plugs you back into the collective, the fact that you're not doing this alone. One that plugs you back into the earth, like the fact that you're literally being held up right now. And then one that plugs you back into your own frequency, your mind, your body, and your soul, and the version of you that remembers who you are. If you're already here and ready to tune in back to the frequency that you belong to, you can just type back on frequency in the comments so you remember exactly when you called your baseline frequency back home. Now, number 1, I said it was going to be back to the collective. The first one is really simple, bro. Remembering you're not the only antenna on this planet. Right now, there are millions of nervous systems feeling some version of what you feel. You're not the only person overthinking a text. You're not the only person that's worried about money. You're not the only person wondering if you're ever going to feel like yourself again. We forget that because we only see the highlight reels and hot takes. We see everyone's armor, never their nervous system. So the first grounding practice to bring you back to the collective is something that I call the human field check. Think of one thing that's just been heavy on your mind lately. Close your eyes for one slow inhale. On the exhale, imagine zooming the camera out from your body to the city to the whole planet. And then at the end of that, just say, millions of humans have felt this. You can add, I'm not the only one carrying this frequency. That's it. I told you it was simple. No affirmations that you don't believe. No spiritual cartwheels. Just one truth. Whatever you're feeling, a crowd of people feel too. And if you want to take it deeper, you can add just one micro ritual. You could also just bring your hand to your chest and one hand to your stomach. And you can just say out loud, to everyone feeling this today with me, may we get what we need. Ooh, shit, bars. If you don't have to know their names, bro. You don't even have to know their stories. You just have to remember that quantum physics says that our particles are entangled and that you're a part of a much bigger organism. Grounding back into the collective is just like this. It's remembering I am one note in a massive choir, not a broken instrument in an empty room. When you stop isolating your pain, your nervous system doesn't have to white knuckle it anymore. Now, grounding back to the earth, number 2. Here's your second move. Get out of your head and back into the planet that's literally holding you up right now. Most of us live from the neck up. We treat our bodies like forklifts that move our brains from obligation to obligation. But your body is not just the vehicle, bro. It's your anchor, and it's plugged into the planet. There's an actual practice for this called earthing or grounding. It's basically just your bare skin directly touching the ground, bro. Grass, soil, sand, concrete, it's all connected to the earth. Earth research suggests that it lowers cortisol, which is your stress hormone. It calms the autonomic nervous system. It will improve your sleep, also reduce your pain and inflammation. And inflammation is the #1 root cause of all disease. Do we need more studies on this? Yes. Is it really that complicated though? Not really, bro. All you really have to do, and you can do this every single day, is literally go touch the part of your body which is called your soul on the bottom of your feet to the earth for 5 to 10 minutes. Grass, dirt, outdoor concrete patio, it's still all intact with the ground, like I said. And then while you're standing there, you don't have to do anything that's impressive. You really don't have to do any breath work. There's not a requirement for any mantra or affirmation. You just have to be aware. And to be aware, you have to be present. Just notice the temperature of the ground or how your body feels towards the ground. The simple fact that you're being held up without even asking. the smell of actual oxygen. And then you can also just quietly say, I give back what I don't need, and I just receive what I do. Think of it like plugging your nervous system into a giant charger that's actually been there your whole entire life. If you can't go outside, though, you can still ground into the earth sensory style. Just put both feet flat on the floor, push your heels down just enough to feel that your calves engage, and then notice the points of contact: heels, balls of your feet, toes, and then scan, seat, back, whatever is supporting you. You could say to yourself, right now, the earth is underneath all of this. Because it's under the floor, it's under the foundations, it's under the street. There is no ground. And you are connected to it whether you remember it or not. We've talked a lot about grounding. It's some mystical personality trait. Half the time, it's literally just remembering that you have a body that is touching a world that doesn't hate you. The earth has held every version of you. The you that messed up, the you that won, the you that still hasn't figured it out, and it never dropped you once. Now, if we go into number 3, to get back to your own frequency. So the third move is simple, bro. Just come back to your signal. Not the version of you that your family scripted. Not the persona that the internet rewards. Not the mask that you wear just to keep the peace. Your frequency is who you are when you're not performing for anybody. So here's the practice. Just take a snapshot of the real you. Think of a moment. It can be any moment where you felt like that was actually me. It could be you laughed so hard one time that you cried. It could be locked into something creative and you just completely lost track of time. It could be helping someone with zero need for any credit. And let yourself just replay that in your head for 5 to 10 seconds. Pay attention to what your body does when you do this. Does your jaw soften? Does your breath drop lower? Do your shoulders drop even just a little bit? Whatever that shift is, that's your nervous system remembering your home frequency. Now just ask yourself gently right now, what is one small thing today that moves me 1% closer to the version I want to be? You don't have to fucking overwhelm yourself. It's not like a life overhaul. Just 1%. Text the person you always feel like yourself around. Spend 10 minutes on the thing that makes you lose track of time. Say one honest sentence that you've been swallowing and keeping in. You can also just use a quick body check, bro. Before you say yes to something, ask yourself, bro, does this tighten or soften my body? Tighten doesn't always mean bad, though. And soften doesn't always mean easy. But your body will tell you a lot about whether something is aligned with your frequency or it's not, dude. Your mind, body, and soul are not 3 separate apps. They're one system trying to run the same program, your actual life. Grounding back into your frequency is not about becoming some flawless spiritual being. It's just about turning down the static long enough for you to recognize your own voice again. And then letting that voice have a vote, be heard. So when we ground into the collective, we remember that we're not alone. When we ground into the earth, so we remember that we're held. We ground into our own frequency, so we remember who is actually living this life. And if all of that even landed for just a second, bro, if you felt your shoulders drop, if you felt your breath slow down, if you felt your brain stop sprinting for just 1 second, let's mark this celebration and drop I choose Team Human in the comments. Not because you're anti-future, anti-tech, but because you're just pro-you. You're pro-nervous system. You're pro-soul. You're pro-real life right now. And if you've made it all the way here, I just need you to hear this. You've probably been on Team Human your whole life and just didn't even have a name for it. If you have ever chosen honesty over image, presence over performance, or real connection over any cheap dopamine hit, then you've already been carrying the frequency we're building around here. You're not the only one trying to stay human in a world that keeps pulling you out of your own body. There are more of us quietly doing this work than you think, grounding ourselves, taking care of our nervous system, trying to leave this place a little softer than we found it. So if something in you felt like this could be a home base, consider this your invitation. Not to join some club or something you're gonna brag about. Just to realize that you're not the only human doing this, bro. You're not alone. You've been on Team Human this entire time, and you just found the rest of us, bro. I love you, bro.